Hello my people and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Dennis Duke Wonyala. Follow me on Instagram at Dennis Duke. Today we have an interesting topic. I've gotten to, interact with some guy that I've, known for a very long time. His name is Oshay Duke Jackson. Yes, now you know him. Welcome to my show.
Thank you, bro.
How are you?
I'm pretty good.
I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
How has life been, first of all?
It's been interesting, ups and downs, but it's good because I finally get to meet you. You know, we've been talking back and forth for a few years, and I'll miss you when I come, and you'll be busy. But finally, I'm here on Dennis Duke's channel. God is good.
I'm glad. So today we're going to talk about something very interesting. In the recent past, we've seen massive, resettlement of African American people in Africa. But today we'll most probably look at Uganda, because you're in Uganda.
Yes.
But you've had, different, experiences elsewhere. You've been to South Africa, you've been to Kenya, but now you're here in Uganda. Let's just handle it from, the broader perspective. Why now is it that many African American are coming back to Africa?
Well, the number one thing I believe now is there's simply more information. Obviously African Americans have been coming back to Africa for, hundreds of years. W.E.B. Du Bois, one of our greatest African American, leaders and thinkers, died in Ghana in the early '60s. So we've always had that wanting to come back to Africa. But now, because of YouTube channels like yours, we just simply have more information about Africa from either influencers like myself that come back to Africa and document their experiences, YouTube, Facebook groups, what have you. There's now more information now, so African Americans feel a lot more comfortable making the jump because we want to know, do Africans like us? Because we do have some bad experiences. Both communities in the States, the African community is kind of separate from the African American community, and then we want to know what are the opportunities. A lot of times we don't know the opportunities because each country is different. Yeah, true. So because there is more information now and there's more people that are making it in Africa and being successful as African Americans, more people are saying, you know what, it's time to go home. It's time to understand where we come from. It's time to leverage our skill set that we have and go back to the continent and let's build. Okay.
The fact that you've grown up in a different environment, I mean, the weather is different, the way how people, act, the way they do their things, is quite different. How is it like settling in Uganda?
Well, it's different. But you know what, the great thing about black people, we are pretty much all the same. Everywhere that we go, we're the same. So even though you've been living in Black America for a long time, the best part about it is that black people still have the same characteristics. Like when I came on the airport, I could just literally look at people that look like somebody I knew in my house. And when you see black people hanging out, it's very, very similar. Although we've been removed from Africa for so long, it's very, very similar. The way the women walk is very similar to back home. The attitudes are kind of similar in certain ways. People dance very similar, party very similar. So the only thing is a little bit different is the culture, but it's really like being at home. It's not a disadvantage for me at all.
Okay, being having known English for the rest, like most of your life, coming to a country like Uganda where we have different languages. English, yes, it's the official, but you realize that a lot more people don't know English as opposed to the ones that know. They're in high-end places. So how do you deal with the language issue?
Well, I have some Ugandan friends, right, that will help me navigate here and there. Most people can speak English. I've never met, like when I was in Tanzania, then only like 5% people could speak English. So that was very difficult. In Uganda, a lot of people can speak English somewhat, and we could at least have a conversation. So if it's somebody that I can't understand or they can't understand me, I'll just give the phone to someone else. But 95% of the time, it's not a problem. Most people here are highly educated, especially your Uber drivers. Boda drivers are a little bit more of a English. It could be an English issue, but if they start talking to Luganda, you tell them you can't speak Luganda, they can still help you. So most people can. I rarely run into any problems like where I just need Luganda to get around. But I am learning some of the things and some of the phrases, you know, Sabo, what that means, and you know, stuff like that. So I'm working my way around it.
Okay, we've seen also, much as yes, African Americans are coming back into Africa. We've also seen massive, you know, migration of Africans to America or the West. What's your comment on that?
That's a very good question. That's that journalism school coming in. You know, the thing about it is this: Africans that are coming to America are looking for a bigger opportunity. And that opportunity is economic. So your talented people that are in Uganda, maybe they are the doctors, the lawyers, they come from very good families. They're looking to go for better pastures in America. And I can understand that because, you know, there's not a lot of opportunities financially unless you're an entrepreneur. Because in Uganda, you have to be an entrepreneur. In America, there's jobs. We have credit. Here, there's mobile money, right? But we have credit cards. This is debit cards. This is something very common. Here, it's not common. So people are looking to go for a market where they can work and earn money, maybe come back. The African American that's looking to come back to Uganda or to Ghana or to Nigeria, that person is not looking for all of a sudden an economic opportunity. We're looking for peace of mind. And we're looking to try our dreams at entrepreneurship. I can tell you, for example, coming to Uganda as an entrepreneur in the social media market like yourself, my business has increased almost 300% because I know the talent that Africa has. I know the talent that I believe I bring to the table, and together we can make it. But the people that are leaving Uganda going to America are maybe not the entrepreneur types. They might be a highly skilled employee. You know, they might be an engineer. They might be, you know, the market is better for them. And maybe when they can have those entrepreneurial skills, they can make it. But a person like me, I have a little bit of more of an advantage. A lot of African Americans may have somewhat of an advantage because we still have our diaspora community that we can leverage. And when we come here, it's a little easier for us to make it because of the things that we know in America and coming into a new environment.
Okay, but would you advise, because personally I would love to say this, we want to make Africa great. So I'm not of a view of, you know, looking at people seeking for, you know, greener pastures.
Right.
Do you think we could also concentrate on our own, you know, different sectors and try to grow it so that we don't have a lot of brain drain going out? Because once that happens, it means the West is gonna, you know, enjoy from.
Yes. And the West is enjoying the brilliance of the Ugandan community. There's so many talented Ugandans in the Boston area, in the UK. I believe, and I saw a Ugandan gentleman discuss the three elements of the society. You have your government, and you have the education sector, and then you have the private sector. And the issue that happens in Uganda is that a person goes to college, okay, but what they're going there, the sector in the business world is not there for it. You know, one person could be a chemical engineer and the job is not there for it, or there's some kind of nepotism there for it. I think that, you know, a lot of Ugandans can start to answer some of the problems, and there's always big money in answering problems. Look at Safe Boda app. Safe Boda app is the example of what talent does in Uganda. Unfortunately, two of the guys are white, but what did they do? They came into the market, they understood that traffic is very heavy, and they created an app that integrated into the local economy. The interface is even better than Uber. You can use your mobile money top-ups from there. You can order food, deliver stuff. Now what Uber is stealing from Safe Boda now and implementing that because they wanted to solve their own issue. And I think with the African community and the African diaspora community, we need to really look at how can we help each other, number one, and how can we solve problems in the African community, you know? And once you can do that, there is the money, right? And I think with your platforms, your platform does gossip and news from a Luganda perspective, which is solving an issue because some people want to be able to talk to their people in Luganda. And so when you can do that, there's an economy behind that. You're living witness of that. You can grow in Africa and get 70,000 subscribers talking in Luganda. There's people in America that can't do that speaking in English. So I think that we have to be very serious as African American, the Ugandan community, the Kenyan community, all communities. Let's solve our problems then we can hire our own people, we can do these things, we can build up Africa. But if we're not looking to solve these problems, then we can't do it. And the governments, respective governments, have to be okay with their intelligent people solving the problems, because the problems get solved from the brightest and most intelligent. And unfortunately in Uganda, a lot of the brightest and most intelligent people I see are driving Ubers and not solving problems.
Wow. That's interesting. I hope you've picked a few couple of points there. Now, something I forgot to mention is Mr. Duke Oshay Jackson. He's, you know, an all-round person. He does quite a handful of things. To mention you're vlogging, among what you could explain to them, and how you're actually integrating that within the Ugandan sphere or the African sphere to better yourself, but also to better lives of others.
Well, one of the people that might know about me is that I'm almost like 2 classes from finishing medical school. So I'm actually finishing when I go back to Poland. So that's one of the other things I actually do, is I'm almost a medical doctor. But the thing about it is when the vlogging perspective, when dealing with the Ugandan market or the American market, because there are a lot of Ugandans that are in the diaspora that have not come back to Uganda in 20 years.
But they would love to know what's happening in Uganda.
They want to know what happens. And a lot of times, what Ugandans in the diaspora figure out is that once I live in Britain for 10 years, the Ugandans don't look at me the same. I live in America for 15 years, Ugandans might not look at me the same. So sometimes they relate to me in watching a vlog because they've been away, I've been away, right? They're no longer considered a local person, right? So the thing about it is when we build a vlog, we want to know, number one, for the Ugandan audience or from the American audience, do we bring value to the consumer? Because people in Uganda, they have limited data, they have things to do. If they're gonna watch my video, what's the reason why I'm giving them to watch that video? So everything that we wanna do is build value for the audience, whether it's how to survive a blackout, or whether it's how to get around the best healthcare you can get, the business ideas, how to run a business. Because even from the Ugandan audience, like one of the things I was talking to you about before is our system of how we put together our content strategy. How do we run the business in Uganda? How can we become more efficient? Even though umeme, the power goes out, we still maintain a higher level of efficiency than even when I was in the States. So we want to share all those tips and trips to people that they are edified in our vlogs when we're out. Not just, oh, I'm out having an ice cream. No, that doesn't matter, right? We want to give people value for their time for watching us. So that's what we want to do on the vlog.
Okay. You've been here for the last couple of months at least, and I'm very sure you've done quite a handful of surveys. What would you recommend somebody to come here and invest in if they, a Black American, would want to come in Uganda or in Africa? But let's deal in Uganda because you're in Uganda. What would you advise them to invest in? Because at the end of the day, they would want something that would sustain them. So number one thing I would look at is, and I have one idea, right? Number one thing is you come and you find out if you like Uganda, right? Because like Sudhir Rupiella says, Africa has to be what in your blood. And in order for you to do here, you need to be able to sleep, eat, and drink Uganda. I was sold it the second time. So you need to make the commitment that you want to stay here and that you love Uganda. That's the first thing. Once you can do that, then have the mindset that's going to take some time, you'll lose money, and all of these things. Before we get into investment, invest in the people, in the talent. You know, don't look at Black brothers anywhere as if they can't do it or, you know, things are not going to be well. You need to be able to understand that Uganda has a lot of talent, a lot of people you can partner with, hire, or go into business with. You have to understand that the brightest people are also here, just like in the West. So those two things are the main mindset that you have to have. Now, as far as investing in something, what can you bring, in my opinion, that is not here that would edify the Ugandan community? Because you don't want to be a person that come in and you know you're competing with the local person. Yeah, you do what they've always been doing.
You don't want to do that. That's hostility. You want to bring something to the market that is not as hostile, right? That's edifying. So one of the things that I want to do is with the guy at the PC Gamers Hub. I saw in Thailand and in Korea, they have a PC gaming cafe where you can order food and play video games. When I go to Acacia Mall, it's always packed. For me, that's something that I see that could do well here, that's not here. Like in the States, we have Dave & Buster's. You go play video games and you eat.
Yeah, true.
So things like that. One of the things that we know that's interesting is information about Africa, podcasts, that businesses will be very, very good here, right? Because information about Uganda to outside to the world is not here yet. So you want to look at what is not here and how can you work with the people to partner it here and make things better. Instead of going into, I would say, something that's very local, something that's not, you want to do something that edifies, that builds a community around that. And you can compare your American mind from what you think that is here in Uganda, what's not here.
Okay. And
come in and make Uganda better with that and partner with somebody to make it happen.
Perfect. He's been creating content for the last couple of at least months where he's been here in the country. And I must tell you, you should visit Kenganda. Yes. Why Kenganda?
Why Kenganda? I think Kenganda solves the same issue that you do with your content. And speaking in Luganda, it creates a community of people that are looking to, number one, connect the Ugandan diaspora, the American diaspora, and all around black people amongst one strategy. And that's the thing that a lot of people want to be able to do. They want to be able to meet people, whether it's in the business setting, whether it's in the tourism setting. Our content strategy is based around that. It's about connecting the diaspora because, quite frankly, the African Union is not solving a lot of the problems for Africa. And unfortunately, for those of us that are content creators, only 5% of the content that we create in the world is about Africa. So we are an underserved market. So that's what we're doing with your content, with our content. We are serving the underserved. This content is for the African. It's for the African Americans, for all of Africa's children in one YouTube channel. And we're improving. You've been watching the content. You've seen that we made some strides to try to get better, try to add more value. And we want input from people so that we can continue to make it where we can connect our best people. People can give tips. The Ugandan diaspora that's wanting to come back, the African American diaspora that's wanting to come back. People can meet friends. They can become a part of the content. We can give our best strategies to our people so that we can be successful. We don't want, we want to be able to promote change in our content. We want the best and brightest people that have talent to have access to the resources so that we can, keep black people on the same place and not going over to, Europe and all that, and give an opportunity for the best to come back and be able to survive. So that's why Kenganda.
All right. So now you know where to find such content when you're looking for it. Go to Kenganda. That's on YouTube. You can follow them on Facebook, Twitter, and also on Instagram at Kenganda.
Yes, at Kenganda Nation.
Kenganda Nation. Wow. Thank you so much for giving us that information. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be having Oshay Duke Jackson, at least for the next couple of sessions, because we want to understand things from an African American perspective, and from me, of course, always Dennis Duke Onyala. Go to my Instagram page, that is at Dennis Duke UG. Follow me, Facebook, the same, and so it applies on Twitter. Until then, say goodbye.